Imagine building a criminal empire for years, only to be brought down by a single act of ungratefulness. That's exactly what happened to Dada Joe Remix, one of Ghana's most notorious fraudsters. Today, Wikiblogger Ghana reveals the shocking mistake that landed him in FBI custody and the lesson everyone needs to learn before it's too late. Dada Joe Remix was one of the most respectable fraudsters in the country, except for one major mistake that he committed, which has rendered him a prisoner in the custody of the FBI. The best fraudsters are those who know when to quit or keep going. That wasn't an issue for Dada Joe Remix, but a little ungratefulness on his part has now thrown him into the same spot Showboy entered. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, now is the time. Hit the thumbs up button and stay tuned, because we are about to reveal not just the methods these fraudsters used, but also the step-by-step formats they followed. For newcomers or anyone wanting to protect themselves, this is essential knowledge. Also, be aware that we are not on Snapchat and have no intention of returning soon. Any account bearing our name, Wikiblogger Ghana, is 100% fake and does not represent our brand. Joseph Kwado Badu Boateng, widely known as Dada Joe Remix, is a Ghanaian businessman and socialite who was arrested in Accra on May 28, 2025. His arrest followed a formal extradition request from the United States, where he is accused of participating in a decade-long international fraud operation. The case has drawn significant public attention in Ghana and internationally due to the scale of the alleged crimes and the high-profile nature of the individuals involved. Dada Joe Remix faces multiple charges related to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. The indictment alleges that between 2013 and 2023, he and his associates executed a series of elaborate schemes targeting vulnerable individuals, particularly elderly citizens in the United States. These schemes primarily involved romance and inheritance scams. Victims were deceived into believing they were entitled to substantial sums of money or assets, which could only be accessed after paying purported taxes, fees, or processing costs. Once the victims transferred funds, the money was routed through complex laundering channels to conceal its origin and ultimate beneficiaries. The indictment further outlines that Dada Joe Remix acted in coordination with a network of co-conspirators who played distinct roles in executing the scams. Some were responsible for initiating contact with victims through online dating and social media platforms, while others handled the fraudulent documents and communications that convinced victims to transfer funds. Once the money was received, it was systematically moved through accounts and shell entities to make the transactions appear legitimate. The scale and organization of these operations indicate a sophisticated level of planning and coordination over 10 years. His arrest in Ghana was carried out in close collaboration with US authorities, including the FBI and the Diplomatic Security Service, highlighting the transnational nature of the investigation. The extradition process itself was lengthy, lasting 15 months. It began in March 2024 and concluded in May 2025 after extensive legal proceedings. During this period, Dada Joe Remix was detained in Ghana under strict custody, while Ghanaian and US authorities coordinated to ensure compliance with both countries' legal frameworks. Public reaction in Ghana has been highly visible. Supporters of Dada Joe Remix have launched campaigns asserting his philanthropic contributions and community involvement, emphasizing his work in youth empowerment and local initiatives. Despite these claims, legal proceedings continue, and the case underscores the U.S. commitment to prosecuting individuals involved in large-scale international fraud targeting American citizens. As of now, Dada Joe Remix remains in U.S. custody awaiting trial. If convicted on all charges, he faces significant prison sentences, reflecting the severity of the crimes and the long-term impact on victims. Authorities continue to investigate all aspects of the operations linked to him and his associates, signaling that additional developments in the case may arise as the trial progresses. Dada Joe Remix was aware he was on the FBI's radar sometime last year, and through to his arrest, so he tried to keep a low profile. He also attempted to buy political influence with fraudulent money, which might have worked if the ruling party had won, but things backfired quickly. He foresaw potential trouble and started doing many charitable acts to clean his image. These included gifting cars to friends, former business partners, and current associates. The motive was simple. If things went wrong and he was jailed, he could depend on these connections upon his release. This backup plan worked, at least. It would have if the recipients of his gifts had remained loyal when he returned home broke. Dada Joe even once confessed that he had quit the fraud game, but his friend Biggie advised him to return, a decision that has now landed him in prison. Biggie benefited the most from this advice, receiving cash, 2 luxury cars, and other perks from Dada Joe. Finally, the critical mistake that caused Dada Joe Remix's downfall was simple yet disastrous. Imagine working with someone for years, using their account to receive fraudulent funds, and failing to provide support when needed. Eventually, that person was busted by the FBI, served his term quietly, and returned expecting loyalty. When he reached out to Dada Joe Remix for help with a complicated health condition, Dada Joe refused to provide less than $15,000, a relatively small sum. Heartbroken, the collaborator turned directly to the FBI, negotiated a deal for slightly over $100,000, and handed over all transaction records linked to Dada Joe Remix. Suddenly, the FBI had both evidence and a cooperating witness. In brief, Dada Joe Remix's misjudgment and lack of foresight led to his capture and imprisonment, proving that even small acts of negligence can have massive consequences in this world. That wraps up our full breakdown of the Dada Joe Remix case, showing just how quickly years of careful planning can unravel with a single mistake. This story serves as a clear warning. Even the most experienced fraudsters can be brought down when greed or poor judgment takes over. If you found this video or article insightful, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest investigations and exposés. Here at Wicked Blogger Ghana, we bring you the inside story behind high-profile cases, showing how these networks operate, the mistakes that lead to their downfall, and the lessons you can learn to stay safe. We cover everything from international fraud operations to local schemes, giving you a detailed look at both the risks and the realities behind these criminal networks. Your support allows us to continue exposing the truth, providing information that helps people stay vigilant and protected. Stay informed, stay cautious, and never underestimate the reach of law enforcement. Keep following Wicked Blogger Ghana for more shocking revelations, in-depth investigations, and stories you won't hear anywhere else. Because knowing the truth is the first step to staying safe.
The same thing that I just did, the same thing. Also, we say me change, on fan the kwasi antena ho. Obo be sua nyansa, onmunye fi prison aba ho. Oba on put be tu omfo. Jo oba, we do nyame oba be tu Ghana for boys ne fo. Oba be tu omfo. Oba be preacher to send my preacher. Obi kan just jayo. Obi kan just say post to send my talker for one na be yedin. Obe sua nyansa. Okoba, obe sua nyansa, ne be wa on post bio. As I say, obedient, we need part of your crown country, we catch up against her. I don't make nobody know. Because my against this, we didn't do things for the show. You go to anybody, I beg you. Me, I learn some sense. It's okay, cool. Pass with your answer. It is good you are learning. Hey, Utrum the China. Many so say, yes, I am ungrateful. Be the Miss Wine, my jatu. I am ungrateful. I'm Lucifer's son. I am bad. I did be able to be a pay. Say, Papa, mempe. Papa, Apu. My papa, the mediating. Bonne and Kuana, Miss Ansary. Me do bonne and Miss Ansary. I move on to Bossonian. Me do bonne and Miss Ansary.